In the middle of the night, a man was awoken in his bed by his sleep tracker. It had told him that at 3:03 a.m., it had recorded heavy breathing, followed by someone whispering in his ear, "Wake up, they're here." He opens his eyes and, sitting up in bed, looks around the room to see an empty bed next to him, where his wife had been sleeping just moments before. Then he remembers that she had gone to her mother's house earlier that evening to play bridge with her friends. So, he wasn't too worried when he heard the whisper. He assumed that it must have been one of the kids. He gets out of bed and walks over to the window. Outside, he sees the neighbor's two kids playing with a flashlight and making shadow puppets on his wall. One of them looks up and he waves. The two kids wave back and then disappear into the darkness. He goes back to bed and tries to get comfortable again, but he can't help but feel a little uneasy. He pulls the covers up to his chin and stares at the ceiling, trying to will himself back to sleep. But then he hears it again. Someone is at the window. He sits up and looks out to see a dark figure standing on the lawn. It's not the neighbor. He doesn't know who it is. And for a moment, he just stares at this stranger in the darkness, trying to make out their features. And then the figure steps away from the window, revealing the face of someone he knows. It's the neighbor. She's smiling at him from the darkness, can't help but smile back. Feels a sense of relief knowing that it was just a friendly face outside, but also a little creeped out that she was spying on him in the middle of the night. Still, he decides to go back to bed. Maybe it was just a simple mistake. Maybe she saw something outside his window and just wanted to let him know. He snuggles down in his blankets and closes his eyes, but sleep evades him. Every time he almost drifts off, he hears a noise, a creak in the floorboard or a thump outside his window. And each time he wakes up, he finds himself staring into the darkness, hoping that whatever was outside has gone away. But just as the first rays of sunlight begin to peek through the curtains, he hears a knock at the door. He sits up in bed and listens. There it is again, a soft but insistent knocking. He gets out of bed and walks to the door. As he opens it, he sees the neighbor standing there with a sheepish grin. "Sorry to bother you," she says, "but I couldn't help but notice that your window was open. And I thought you should know that your dog is outside." He looks out to see his dog running playfully in the yard. "Oh, thank you," he says, feeling a sense of relief and a little bit embarrassed. "I guess I forgot to close it when I went to bed last night." The neighbor nods understandingly. "No problem," she says. "Just thought I should let you know." As she turns to leave, he calls out to her, "Wait, I wanted to ask you something." She turns back to him, a questioning look on her face. "What is it? How is it that you knew my window was open?" She hesitates for a moment, then replies, I didn't. I just, I was walking by and I saw your dog outside and I thought, you might want to close your window because of the dog barking." Looks at her for a moment, trying to gauge her sincerity. Then he lets it go. "Right, of course," he says with a laugh. "That makes perfect sense." The neighbor smiles and waves as she continues on her way. He watches her go, a sense of unease settling over him once again. As soon as she's out of sight, he rushes to his window and looks out into the yard. Everything seems normal. His dog is still running around, but he can't shake the feeling that something isn't right.